have our talents.
You're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So the first section that I jotted down notes as they were talking, and action without works is just really a dream. And so we have to put the work in. We have to put the work in. And that is the 10%. That is the skill set that's needed in any successful venture. However, the 90% of that venture is your heart and your hunger and your desire and your passion to push through. And I always notice that when people, successful people are talking, you heard them, they always say, I am not that smart. I'm not that smart, but I just have the heart to do it. See, we think that there's some kind of magic. It is just that they did it. They had the passion. They put the work in to it. They did that 10%, but the 90% was in their mindset. And so I always say, yeah, we are unique and we are the best version of ourselves if we live on the other side of fear. And fear is just really an inverted faith. It's the negative side of faith. So how do you roll back and peel those layers of all of that doubting Thomas and all of that negativity, all of what Oprah said, shadow beliefs. See, your shadows are real. And that's that subconscious that's always talking to you. That's that angry monkey. That's that doubt. But every time there's a negative, there's a counteractive positivity affirmation that can go from that. So I got that, and that always reinforces me. And I always listen to Mindset, and they always say that they're not that smart. See, I wasn't that smart. And that's what held me back. That held me back from going to my master's degree. That helped me pushing to go get my PhD because you had to write a thesis. And I was like, oh my God, I can't write that well. So, but you just have to push through it. If you listen to Eric Thomas, he was the same way. And I was like, they are not that smart, but they just have the heart to just do it and counteract that fear. And even when you do have that fear, do it anyway. Do it anyway. Oprah mentioned the morning, well, not Oprah, but the last lady, when she talked about starting our mornings off. There's a great book. It's called The Morning Miracle. And there's an acronym called SAVOR. And these are like 7 principles that you do in the morning. And that really saved me. I think I spoke on that before, but again, repetition is the mother of all learning. So maybe we do need to go through that again. But, it deals with everything that all of the leaders, all of the motivational speakers talk about: affirmations, dedication, heart, doing the work, getting polished in your own, in your own way. And it talks about that. That's a great book to get. I think I'll post that again. And so when we start our days off, we're looking at everybody else's negativity or positivity and judging it and assessing it against us. And we just got to get other people out of our mind. Look, we're one person. We got one salvation and righteousness. We got one death. We got one birth. So why are we always judging and assessing someone else's success or failures or problems when we got our own stuff that we have to handle? So, waking up in the morning and giving yourself praise and doing that affirmations and things of that nature will help curtail all of that negativity and start our days off right. So that's what I got out of all of the commentary that you just presented to us.
Thank you. Who would like to share next?
I'll share. Definitely a powerful video. Thanks for sharing it with me, with us, Whitney. Very appreciative. I actually, just the total thing about that, just in order to be the best, you got to produce and, show your best. You can't be lackadaisical or mediocre if you want to be the best. So whatever it is, you have to go at it. And the fact of getting up every day and setting your mindset, I do that on a regular basis. I do believe what you focus on expands. And I guess that's part of, where I'm at. I have a couple of different businesses that's going on. And I think sometimes that happens and that gets in the way of being the best. I mean, although I want to, and, you push in one area and don't push in another. But or as the handshake, the smile, I believe all of that. So I've heard this before, not from this particular video, but just being in sales or with AT&T and different things like that, that you got to be better than the 10%. You got to be in it to win. And so that was just confirmation again that I've heard it here where I've heard it before, and I don't know when, but it's been a while. But just to have it be, just in the forefront of your mind, that means a lot. It's, I went into a meeting the other day, and I was the last one that came in. It was a realtor, and the interested parties was a funeral home, and I was looking at it for my brother-in-law. And when I walked in, I was late, and I apologize coming in late, but it was immediately like all eyes was on me. So it was like, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing trying to sell this funeral home, but I act like I knew exactly what I was doing. And the handshake that I gave and the smile, it was like everybody was like getting up. How you doing? It's okay that you're late or whatever, and let's get started. It's like they was waiting on me. And when I walked in the room, it was like, wow. But I just smiled and gave that little hard handshake. I was like, let's get to it, and so definitely I appreciate that. But yeah, it did bring a lot to the forefront of your mind about and even my gratitudes and things when I wake up in the morning. That's how I am. It's like I get up and don't get up with a negative attitude. Get up like this is gonna be the best day. And then even Whitney knows that I'm always sharing with somebody, have a great day on purpose. Like don't, and that kind of change you, like, what did she just say? And smile and so that's me. It's just that focusing on one particular thing is my problem, when I got 50 other ones going on. So that was my insight. But I always say, get up, dress up, and show up. That's another thing that I say to a lot of my girlfriends, like, hey, girl, get up, dress up, show up. And that's kind of, how I start my day.
Thank you, Shauna. Thank you for sharing. Coach T, would you like to share?
Sure. Lots of nuggets. Honestly, I think I got probably more nuggets out of what Kendra and Sean shared and their perspective on it. I mean, just personally, I'm going through a lot, so it was very insightful to listen to at this particular time and where I'm at. And Sean, you sharing about working on multiple businesses and everything at the same time, and it's hard to focus on one thing, and it's something that I am really struggling with recent news and focus, just lack of focus. And one thing I'm personally trying to do that I'm taking away from that is, just to be intentional and to set a goal, and to stop being so hard on myself, right? And so waking up, making sure I accomplish that one thing, and sometimes starting back and fixing something that was broken. So one of the things that I've done just this week, Kendra actually offered to get on a power hour just to do some calls with me, just for accountability. And so what that actually ignited me to do is to portion out my day differently. I was like showing up for everybody who needed me, but I wasn't showing up for myself. Right. So if I had somebody else on my calendar, it was 100% that I was there for them. But I had myself on my calendar, but I didn't necessarily show up for myself. And so it's one thing that I'm really focusing on is, carving out that time for me to focus and to focus on those one thing. So one thing that I've been just struggling with is, I can't get everything, absolutely everything done, especially not at the same time. So kind of chunking up and carving out my day and setting up my goals differently so that maybe this day I focus on this thing. And instead of a week later, I feel like I didn't accomplish anything, at least a week later, I could say I've moved forward on, these particular things. But yeah, it's going to be a new process for me. Just trying to learn some new strategies on how to. I used to be the multitasker extraordinaire, and I realize I can't do that anymore. So really trying to, I guess, set up a routine and schedule to focus my attention on what really needs my attention at that particular time, especially if that's me. So, yeah.
Thank you for sharing. And that's the purpose of this meeting, is to help us get everything back into perspective as far as what FES is and how that plays in our everyday life. Obviously, our whole focus is not on FES, but how can we incorporate FES into our goals and our dreams in other areas? We have 2 realtors on the call. We have a person who is a career builder and coach in that capacity as well. So how can we incorporate FES in that and not look at FES as the end all be all until it starts paying us like that? But in order for it to start paying like that, we have to do the little work every day consistently to get to that point. So that I wanted to have this meeting with you all to just go over the basics. A lot of us need to go over the basics and to realize what we need to do to be successful within FES. Hopefully you can see my screen. Give me a thumbs up if you can. And let's go. So this is kind of the onboarding process that I'm still working on, tweaking every day, but we have to get people started right. And that's the whole reason why the document is called that. So even for people like ourselves who've been in the business for a while, it's always good to go back to some of the basics. Like you guys mentioned, a lot of the phrases and the terms that were mentioned in the motivational video, we've heard before. We've heard them before, but it's not a bad thing to hear them multiple times to reinforce those habits and those thought processes. So one of the main philosophies that I'm adopting on a daily basis is freedom is not free. So what that means is, what does freedom mean to you? That could be health freedom, that could be time freedom, that can be financial freedom. But for most of us, that's more than likely, that's part of your why. That's part of why you joined this company. That's why you believe in generational wealth. That's why you believe in paying off debt. That's why you believe in time freedom, because that's what FES offers. It offers these things. Breaking generational curses is definitely a part of freedom in my mind. Being able to break free of those spirits, of those habits, of those bad tasks that maybe our parents had, maybe our cousin, our sister, whoever, and not passing those things down to our children. So freedom is the freedom to be the best version of yourself. But we know that to achieve true freedom, it takes work and sacrifice. Okay, guys. So we can't hope ourselves to freedom. We can't wish ourselves to freedom. It takes action. So in FES, adopting those same principles, to be successful as an agent, you have to transfer belief. You have to get excited. You have to have enthusiasm. You can't go out there transferring doubt. And a lot of us do that, especially as new agents. We may think that we have to know everything before we get started. We have to, be an expert. So we're not fully confident in the services or our ability to expose the services. So we're actually out there transferring doubt. You have to have 100% faith in the company and in yourself and in your mentors to be able to close people for you. You have to move with a sense of urgency. As I mentioned, a lot of us get stagnated, paralysis of analysis. We want to recreate everything. We want to do everything ourselves first. We want to make sure all of our T's are crossed and all our I's are dotted. Maybe we were taught that in school. Maybe we were taught that same mindset on a job. But within this framework of network marketing, We have to move fast. We can't wait till everything is perfect. Keep it super simple. So that's what developing a daily method of operations is. Having a short-term goal, mid-term goal every day, to know exactly what your goals are for that day and what you aim to accomplish. What time frame are you going to allocate to those goals, to FES, instead of trying to accomplish everything and getting nothing done. We cannot control the results. A lot of us focus on results. A lot of us see other people maybe signed up an agent or a customer, and we're happy for them. But they may defeat us a little bit because that's what we want. But you have to ask yourself as well: are you putting in the true activity to get the results? Because if you put in the activity, you're gonna get the results. So focus on what you can control, which is the activity. If you're new, be you. Be new. Excuse me. Be new. Do not come into this company thinking that you have to be a credit expert or you have to be a leader or any of that. We have leaders, we have experts. Your job is to expose these people to the product. If they're interested, then transfer them to an expert. Let the expert close them for you. You don't have to be the expert. We're collecting decisions, guys. You know that. We're meeting people, we're talking to people, and we're sorting people. As I talk to this person, I already know they're more than likely going to be a customer. I'm talking to this person, they're probably going to be an agent. I'm talking to this person, they're probably going to be a referral source for me. And as they see the results with the person they're referring to me, maybe they're going to be an agent later on. So we're sorting people because we're in the people business. People develop money. Money doesn't develop people. So we're always focusing on people and having integrity in our business. No means next opportunity, obviously. And we have to get good at hearing no. This is all about mindset. So we have to be able to hear no. And as Kendra Pack told me, be able to smile and be happy because you're actually closer to a yes. And as his name is Bill Britt. Bill Britt in Amway, he was with Amway, I believe, for a long term, and he's a millionaire earner in the company. He talked about how he exposed 1,200 people. I think I have that later on in the clip, but yeah, I'll get to that. But peak interest. So if you don't remember anything else, especially as a new agent, your job is to pique someone's interest, share the information, whether that be a live event, a video, a webinar, and then get your third-party validation, whether that's a three-way meeting with a mentor or a Zoom meeting with a mentor, and then answer the questions, and then that's it. Let them close them for you. So while the PS3 is taking place, while you're on a three-way call or while you're on the Zoom with your mentor, take notes and also be quiet. Have your website ready. Have your customer link ready. Have your agent link ready. Edify your mentor. Once again, you're transferring belief. I wouldn't get on a phone call with Kendra Pack and say, hey, this is my friend Kendra. Can you tell us about that FES stuff again? Can you tell her what we got going on with the FES stuff? That's not edification. That's not transferring belief. That's not transferring respect, because it's a triangle system. The person that you're bringing on the call, they may know you in some capacity, so there's a relationship there. But then you know that Kendra Pack's an expert in the company and you have a relationship with her through the company. So the most important leg is that last leg. How can you transfer respect, belief, and potentially a partnership between Kendra and that prospect? And that's where edification comes in. If you properly edify your expert, it's going to make it a lot easier for them to close the potential prospect for you. Obviously, we know about getting started right, but it's the most important document within FES. If you don't get started right, you're not going to ever reach that full potential that you seek within the company. So even if you've done it, I would implore all of us to print it out and do it again and do it the right way. So obviously we have to fill it out. We have to fill it out with our why, even if we have to add a couple of note sheets of notebook paper or something on top of that, the staple to our actual get it started right, because I believe that the space on the document isn't enough. If you really want to truly get deep and down into your why, you may need extra sheets. Income goals. You want to create a list of people, and we're not prejudging anyone. because the best way to get started right is to expose the product to as most people, the most amount of people as fast as possible. And that's with a business launch. If you create a list of 200 people, maybe say 80 or 70 of them say yes, and then maybe 20 or 30 of them actually join, that's probably going to be at least maybe 20, 15, 10 people either get started with the company as a customer or agent. That's already a field trainer, if not senior field trainer, at least on pace. So that's a beautiful way to start in the company. Use the memory jogger. So it's not just your friends and family. Most of us, we only think of our mom, our dad, our best friend, and our spouse. And then we expose them to the business opportunity. They say no. And then we say, hey, it doesn't work. And then we quit, right? No, we have to expose to our mailman. We have to expose to our tax professional. We have to expose to our car dealer who's sold us plenty of cars. We've done plenty of business with him. So let's see how he can do business with us on the opposite side. And also, especially for those warm leads, those cousins, those nieces and nephews, your mom, your dad, your spouse, take the pressure off of them. Say, hey, I just need your attention. I just need your presence. Leave the money at home. Because we're trying to expose the information, guys. So if we take away excuses, we take away fear, and we just get them in front of the information, at that point, they're going to make their own decision, and then we collect the decisions. But if we're transferring doubt, or if we're transferring pressure to them initially, they're going to be less likely to join the call or watch the video. So we remove the pressure in the beginning and get them in front of the information. So for new agents and everybody who's going to relaunch themselves, you want to take 2 hours of power. So I know Kendra probably does this. Put on some music, whether you want to get hype or you want to create a nice vibe, maybe some jazz music, maybe some gospel music, and just take 2 hours to focus simply on creating your list using the memory jogger. I would say, I'm saying the company says maybe 20 or 30 people. I'm saying 200 because you're launching a business. This is a big deal. We have to employ the same activity and the same mindset as a baby shower, as a wedding. When we have these type of activities, we're telling everybody, we're inviting everybody. So why are we not inviting everybody toward the birth of our business? Okay, so what is a launch? It's a private business reception. Generally, pre-COVID, it was held in your home, maybe some light snacks, and then you would have your expert come in and give a quality business presentation. So the formula behind a launch is you have quality people, which is your mentors and your experts in the business. You bring your people on, you have a quality presentation, and that's going to equal, business growth. And it's a quick transaction. It's a quick thing. It's not progressively day by day talking to people one day at a time and one person at a time and then expecting them to sign up. It's getting a lot of people in the room in front of a quality presentation. Somebody's going to sign up. Because we know that people need the services. We know the services are great. We know that people need extra money for their private school, for their home loans, for their car note. Everybody can use an extra $500 a week, $1,000 a month, what have you. So we know that the need is there. It's just about exposing people. When you sign up, and this is one area where I'm trying to get better as a mentor, to get people in launch within 4 days. So once they sign up, create your list, and let's get them launched within 4 days. Tell everybody we already mentioned that. So as you're creating your list, just remember a time you were successful listening to music. Set your launch date, circle that launch date. The most important thing for you to do as a new person is to craft your story. And we talked about that on GoPro as far as how you craft your story, basically talking about your background. What are your personal pain points? And then using FES as the catalyst, and then transferring excitement for the future as to why you join FES and why you're excited for the future. So for a new person, if you craft your story and give it in a compelling way, that could really jumpstart your business. Determine your why, as we mentioned. Why must you be successful? Use your story to empower customers and potential agents. Also, when you're new, if you could simply identify one or two services maybe that stuck out to you in the beginning to identify on the call, that helps as well. Whether you really see value in the fact that we can get a will and trust for $89, essentially. Somebody could literally sign up for our services and get a will and trust and stop the services because we don't have any contracts or anything like that. That's very powerful. Or we have people like Joe Gathings in the company who had literally just paid off $100,000 in debt using our debt payoff tool and our budgeting tool, $60,000 worth of student loans, $40,000 worth of credit card debt. He used the debt payoff tool and he only used income from FES to pay that off. That's an amazing story. And I've been using that all the time when I talk to customers recently because he used the same services that they're going to have access to. So yeah, we already talked about that. So yep, we all know about these minor items as far as when you get connected, you're going to be joining the Facebook Superstars group. You're going to be joined in our Messenger group. And then we also have the Superstars Client and Prospects group, or AKA the Drip group. So we can add prospects, we can add clients in there, and we can tag and message them to posts that are relevant to them. Well, maybe it's a client testimony, maybe it's a credit tip, but definitely get them connected to drip on them to get them to say yes later on. So obviously, if you don't have all these apps or you're not currently utilizing all these apps, you need to. Ultimate Wealth Educators, it's a beautiful app. We can text people, we can email people with video and content from the app. Credit services, FES agent, and obviously you need Zoom. These are basics, guys. Everybody on this call should have done this already. If not, make sure it's done. Make sure you have a professional photo as your FES picture so they see your nice, beautiful smile when they come to your website. Get your direct deposit set up. You don't want to be waiting on a check from FES. Get your direct deposit set up. Watch the Getting Started videos, whether that's in the FES back office or on your Ultimate Wealth Educators app. Both avenues have the videos. And save your agent ID. You should be able to know your agent ID offhand as you move forward in the business. Obviously, a well-trained agent is a well-paid agent. We have multiple types of training. I use this as a rule of thumb. I would probably need to add the Superstars call on the Sundays. I always mention it, but it's not on the actual document here. But obviously, we don't have to attend everything. We don't want you to attend everything, but here are the resources available in the company to get you started. So I've been getting back on the Power Start Your Day at 7 a.m. every day for Nicola Smith Jackson. That's really been helping me because she approaches it just from a business standpoint overall, not just FES, but she also approaches it with the word. And I really appreciate that. And it's really inspiring. And it's only about 15 minutes. So it's a great way to listen as you're getting ready or whatever you're doing, you can listen to that. And it's a great perspective. IPA call, they also have an IPA call. What are your IPAs, your income producing activities? What are you doing to produce income on that day? Not just to sound or feel busy, but what are you doing to actually produce income within the business? Power of credit, we leverage this every day. We have a call every day, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, to get prospects on the call. Leverage that three-way, that third-party validation. Get back with them after the call. What do they like about the call? What do they like about the presentation? Sign them up. Millionaire Mindset. Anybody who really wants to be successful in FES needs to be on Millionaire Mindset. 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern every Monday. Testimonials, training, great nuggets every single time. Definitely beyond VP University. We have Superstars training on Tuesdays, first Tuesdays every month as well. Great training as well. Wealthy Women Wednesdays. I believe this is one of the reasons why Sean joined, because the Wealthy Women Wednesdays it's another platform where we're not talking about credit or FES. It's just about women sharing their stories and why they're wealthy and why they're valuable in that nature. And me as a male, I joined it as well, and it's very powerful for me as well. The basics as far as being an agent, you have to be a product of the product, right? So definitely agree to the terms, pull your credit report, set up your smart credit, set up your identity theft monitoring. These are the first steps that you need to do when you join the company. Okay, 1 second. Tamara, go ahead.
On the last screen, didn't we change STU to just the first Tuesday?
And I mentioned that as I was talking, but yeah, it's not on
Okay.
there.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously you want to be a product of the product. 555. I was gonna go into a different presentation, but I'll give Kendra her time. But basically, 555 is exposing 5 people, asking them 5 questions, and then getting your power of 5. Because obviously, we all want to operate a debt-free business. So you literally can use a 5-question close, whether it's an agent or a customer, to get people signed up. And this just goes over kind of what that would look like. Players Club. I've recently started using this a lot more intentionally, and it's great. It is awesome. And I've been doing this on a weekly basis. So this is based on a month, but on a weekly basis, I try to expose at least 50 new people. At least talk to 50 new people. Ideally, you want to expose at least 15 people. So that's 15 people that have joined a 3-way or a live webinar or have seen a video. And if you follow this system, you will have 5 new personal enrollments. I talked to 50 people this past week, and I signed up 7 people. So 1 agent and 6 customers. Okay, so it does work. You have to keep track of who you talk to, keep notes on what happened in the conversation. Maybe they missed a call. Maybe you left them a voicemail. Maybe they said they were interested, but they didn't have the money right now. So you keep track of all these different conversations and interactions. So when you go back to follow up, you know exactly what to say and what exactly what to move with. So I also have a spreadsheet of this if anybody wants it, and I believe I provided that in the past. But you definitely want to use this Players Club to keep track of your prospects, and that can transfer to any other business as well, as far as realty as well. This is more so for brand new agents as well, but customer service, you definitely want to be checking in with your customers, making sure that they're onboarded properly, and checking in at least every 30 days, maybe every 2 weeks, and making sure that they're sending off their dispute letters and getting the responses for them dispute letters within 30 to 45 days. Become a product of the product. There is training for each particular product in your UCES. When you click marketing, there's training for each particular product. So you definitely want to use them and get more in contact and involved with each product. So when you're talking to customers, it's a lot easier, and you're not thinking about a script because you're talking from personal experience. It's a lot easier to remember as opposed to what am I supposed to say in this particular moment? No, you're talking from experience, so you can tell them about the will and trust because you have yours in your house right now. You have your will and trust. You're using the financial lockbox. You use the Smart Credit app to produce your credit report, and you're able to refresh and get your updated credit score whenever you like. So get more in tune with the product, and it'll make you better on the 10% that Kendra mentioned on the skill set. Obviously, we care about the youth. This is how I signed Asha up, right? So I listen to Asha. I talk to Asha. She's very involved with the youth. She has her own marketing company. She has her own non-for-profit that she started probably at like 20 years old for the kids. So I really leveraged the youth financial literacy program to get her signed up as an agent. And everything that I talked to her about and I promised her we're going to implement, but me just listening to her and not vomiting at the mouth, talking about everything that we have, I see that this is an area that she's interested in. So that's what I focused on. Obviously, we have support. We're in business by ourselves, we're for ourselves, but not by ourselves. So I always reference UCS as my staff. Call my staff. Call my staff. Press 1 for customer. Press 2 for agent. Press 3 for payment support. So definitely leverage that all the employees that we have at our disposal. Don't think it's all about you or you have to do everything, because it will get frustrating and it will get overbearing if you're trying to do everything for the customer. Next steps, obviously, whether you're a new agent or us on the call right now, if you've never been launched, let's launch you. If you want to relaunch, let's relaunch you. Like I said, make sure you have a professional picture, set up your direct deposit. go to feslaunch.com. There's 3 videos there, and then there's the 10 core competencies of a successful agent that I follow every day. So a great information at feslaunch.com. I know we put it when we get a new agent, we put it in the Facebook post and everything. And most people probably don't never do it, but actually do it. Actually watch the videos and watch your business flourish. And so obviously this is my onboarding PowerPoint. So they're coming through me. They're also gonna obviously have Tamara, Coach T as well. But then because they need to know at least 3 of their uplines. So this is why I structure it like this. So you have me, SD. You have Kendra Pack as the vice president, and you have our amazing SVP, senior Tony Camilleri. And I put their numbers, and I tell them to save their numbers immediately, and then I tell them to give them a call. I see when Kendra or Tony is available, and I tell them to give them a call. Okay, so that's all I really had. Hopefully, you guys got some nuggets in realizing how easy it is to work this business, and any feedback would be appreciated.
Great job, Whitney. I think it's very inclusive and, taking somebody from start to finish. If they're just starting out in this business, they'll have a better understanding of what's really expected of them and also on how to be successful, like what they can do to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
I too thank you and appreciate Whitney. I think you're talking directly to me, no, but I do want to do the relaunch, and I will take the time here. I mean, believe it or not, I have nothing to do today. I'm not. I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that because I'm getting texts now. But my plan is to do some of this today to do the restart and write my goals and. My why and different things like that. So yeah, I plan to do that today. I'm not gonna say that I don't have nothing to do because I know I'm gonna eat those words, but yes, to be more intentional, and I do want to do the relaunch, Whitney. But hold on, don't let me do it this week.
Let me ask you this: have you filled out your Getting Started Right document? I can't remember offhand.
Yes, I did. And I know you had asked me that before, and I don't know where the written one is, but I guess on that note, I'll just do it again and print it off and do it again and resend it to you. I know I may have sent you like 100 people on my list, but no, I added to that because I know that because of my Chiefs calendars. So I will update that list as well.
Let's do it again because your why may have changed. Your why may have it may have increased at this point. Now knowing what you know. So let's act brand new. Let's be brand new, and let's get that filled out, please.
Absolutely, will do. Thanks again.
Vice President.
Hey, you did an amazing job. You really thoroughly walked someone through the get started portion of how we launch our business in a professional way. And I do appreciate the end where they do have the contacts, and maybe we can expand on that because there may be some other people that are really good at launching that may not do the business the way we want it done. Maybe they are slower, but they truly enjoy it. We have a lot of seasoned people and they just enjoy being a part of the group. And maybe I can get those people to contribute to helping those launches. And also this was such good information, but if people missed it, there is Alicia Gaines has a great getting started agent recording under the UCE as well. If they can't access the PowerPoint, it's very, very thorough as well. And that could help with duplication for you in case you're not able to do this presentation all the time. A lot of things we talk about is the process, and the process is simple and it's not hard, and anyone can do it, even if you're not smart. But one of the things that I'd like to add to that is, so Sean, you did your get started, you launched your business, you want to relaunch it. and you're ready to do this business, go for it. However, what do you want us to do if we find that you're not doing the daily activities? How do you want us to handle that when we see that you're not on a call, or when we see that you may be discouraged, or we see that you went through, 50 of your 100 people and they all said no, or your time gets overlapped where other priorities come to play, or when distractions happen, because the devil is the distraction of everything. As soon as I want to do something, my daughter comes over with my baby puppy, and I'm just, I push things to the side.
Right.
And so that's kind of where I wanted to take this call too, because you got to get re-energized, and we all need a pat on the back. And I'm not just picking on you, but obviously Samara's a regional and he's a sales director.
Right.
Whitney is a sales director. So I'm practicing on you as being new.
Right.
And I know
Right.
you're busy and I know you're successful. He mentioned professional and quality all through his presentation. So he thought a lot about you with that. But what I would like to add when we're relaunching people or launching people, like, how do you want us to come to you when we see that you are falling away?
I do think Whitney does a pretty good job at it. But like I said, it's not a bad idea to even have, either yourself, Vice President, or even Coach Tamara to even, back that up sometime. And it is not, I think mine is more like taking the time and commit to this business wholeheartedly. I think my discouragement, and Whitney knows that, is family, where you have the family and friends that, say, hey, I'll go after them and say they're interested in whatever. And it's always about the money. I don't have the money now. And I'm trying to get to a point of not bringing up the money. You know what I'm saying? So much more of the value of what we have to offer, and concentrate on what their interest is. And that's where Whitney's basically, when I've gotten discouraged, that's pretty much what it's been. And he's like, hey, concentrate on what they're needing, their why, and different things like that. And that's pretty much what I need to work on, because and also with the amount of people I talk to, which I do talk a lot to strangers. But again, it's that division. With talking to them about coming into the business and different things like that. So that's where I think I need more development on, is that transition and what, go ahead.
So how does that make you feel when they say they don't have the money, or when you can't close them? How does it make you feel?
It basically makes me feel like, oh, I can't do this. Like, this is just so frustrating. And then I don't have the time to keep following up with them if I know it's always going to be, about the money. So if I can just transition to not immediately hearing them say no because of the money, or not now, or whatever, I think that's where I need to make that 3-way phone call with Whitney. And I haven't, you know what I'm saying? I haven't. That's, to me, I think would be that transition.
Oh, that lighting is perfect on you right now.
Well, thank
Just
you.
stay right there. So, Sean, so has someone listened to you approach someone? Like, do you feel that you are comfortable with the script?
No.
Okay. So
No.
are you approaching them the way Sean would approach someone, and maybe taking your discipline in real estate and trying to transfer it to this business, as opposed to just really internalizing the script and not worrying about the money? Because if you actually go through the scripts immediately in the first sentence, well, in my script, I mean, it's the same script, but I use the one that I've used for 8 years. I felt that because I'm a realtor too.
Mhm.
And so, you know how it's a numbers game. You know that it's an 80-20 rule, no matter what business we're in. So I feel when we're dealing with professionals, and a lot of our FES business in superstars are mainly in professionals. So we're not used to like, no, I mean, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
We're the professional, we're the expert. We've been experts in everything. And I sometimes had to remove myself because I'm like, why isn't this? I'm Kendra Pack, like a multi-million dollar
That's
producer
how
in
I
real
feel
estate.
like.
You said it's about $89.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And so I had to get proficient and confident. See, that Whitney had that slide that said 100% of faith and really the confidence in our business, and 1% of doubt. Just think of that. If you had a glass of water and put 1 drop of blood in it, just the 1 drop. See, we can get through with real estate, and something doesn't go right, we can lower the price. We can adjust it. We can fix something that's wrong. But when in this business, you got to talk to everybody as though there is no doubt at all. There is no other remedy. And that 1 drop of blood just taints the whole thing. And I've experienced it more than one time. And that comes from when you're talking to a customer, when you're talking to a partner in our business, when we're talking teams, it happens. And so it's discouraging. And what I found is the more confident you are in the script, just saying, hey, Sean, I'm with Financial Education Services. You called on my ad, or I reached you in the grocery store. Do you happen to know someone with less than perfect credit? And they say yes. And then you get into the script, and immediately you ask them, what specifically would you be trying to accomplish if you got your scores improved? And then you work off of that. And so you build the dream off of that. If you can get that 1 sentence narrowed down, what specifically do you want to accomplish by getting your credit improved? Then you will be able to help them with their why. Because I mentioned, you said, get off the money and more concentrate on the why. See, the money isn't an issue because every single person has the money. So there's either 2 things that happen. Either we didn't create enough value, or some of that doubt kind of trickle in, or doubt in themselves, because what they said they really wanted to do, like buy a house, maybe they're not really ready to. They want to buy a house because that's what everybody say they want to have. But when you put it in their face, then you ask them, would you really want to buy this house?
Right.
Do you, I mean, well, after my credit, I really don't have the down payment. Okay, well then we need to work on if I can help you earn some extra money, or the savings tool that we have, or how we can get you out of debt. Then sometimes you got to just slow down, and that comes from just doing it over and over again. And so, yeah, so I'm finding that if we are more proficient with the script, and maybe we can just read the script together. And then and I got this from Tom Ferry or Mike Ferry, and it's how you memorize and internalize the script. And this is what I go by, because our script was literally 3 pages of single line. I'm not kidding. It's right here. Like, here's my script. It's all of this. We had to know verbatim. And I did. This is how you approach, a person in the streets. But it's all single line. And this stuff still works to this day. So I think when we launch people, we gotta also let them know there's gonna be some hiccups, because it all looks perfect. You're like, oh, I just call these people, they're all gonna say yes, and I'm done. I make $500. I strive for 5. Like, we don't ever think, oh, there's going to be, just like you have roadblocks and things that come up in your life, you get busy. It's the same thing. So I think if we educate people more on, okay, so you got it. You got to strive for 5. You got to make your joggers list. However, when half of those people don't say what you want them to say, how I need to know how you feel and how we can overcome that. Or because most people, I know that when they back down, it's because they got too many no's up front.
Okay.
Hey,
But
Kendra,
there are people that are just like you that saw this. We just got to get through the numbers to find another Sean, another Tamara, another Kendra, another Whitney. And I think that should be added to our getting started, because they're not educated. A lot of people aren't entrepreneurs. They're not used to even doing this. So they're already at a disadvantage by having to be, their mindset just transform. We already are there. That's why we market to professionals and realtors specifically. But I think if we can cut that nip that in the bud, and we tell them, oh, you know, if we see you backing away, how do you want me to handle that? But really, we need to know, how are they feeling and what we can do. And here's some steps, some expectations. Okay, out of 100 calls, be happy that you get 90 no's. And you are going to get the no's. Expect the no's. See, we never tell people there's going to be some no's. But your no's are your building blocks to your yeses. So it's all good. I always say, thank you, number 50. You're number 57. You're my 57th no today. I appreciate you. Thank you.
That's funny.
You're my number 67 no today. Thank you.
Like it.
But I think we need to nip that in the bud, so that when they get these expectations, when they get too many no's, or when they are starting to say, this isn't going to work, like the top 10 things in 90 days that you may say, this isn't going to work. I'm too busy for this. It's too much time I have to put into it. Everybody doesn't have the money. Everybody. Show me your 1,000 people that you called. Show me the 1,000 people that you called. Whip out your phone and show me you spent 5 hours and you called 5 people. Everybody you called said no? Everybody. So we need to, I think, get them prepared and armed with that component too, to help them with that expectation. And when that happens, that's a mayday call. We need to be like, hey, I need a lifeline. I need to talk to my sales director because I'm getting discouraged. Instead of people just drift off and they're never really honest about, really, maybe they didn't put enough time in it, or they didn't do the scripts, or whatever it is. But we can fix that, and we're going to help you get there too, Sean.
So Sean, I wanted to add something. You said, so one of the questions that you just brought up is when people are bringing up the objection of money, like they don't have the money. So you're kind of hesitant on getting to talking about money, right? There's 2 things that I've done in the past that seem to work really well. One thing, I'm hoping I'm gonna remember, but one thing that I do is, number 1, ask questions. So even before I tell them how much it costs, and I'm going through the services and what's included and how it can help them, I said, okay, I know I just said a mouthful. Before I even get to how much it costs, how much do you think something like this, all of these services, would cost? And I really want to understand their value, like what they think about the value that I've just explained to them, right? Another question that I ask them is, what have you tried so far like, have you gone with another credit repair company? How much does that cost? Because I have a lot of people who say, yeah, I paid this girl $500 and my credit didn't improve. And that's what tore them up. So when you ask them the right questions and you understand where their standpoint is on value, that can really change the game and change your position and how you go about closing them. And then there's a couple of other things, but really, before I even get into the costs, what is your credit being damaged costing you? Right? If of course I don't provide these services for free. Nobody's,
Right.
but before I even get into the cost, help me better understand what is this bad credit costing you every day. If you're not able to buy this home, how is that going to change, your family's life? Right. And I mean, get them to understand the value of what you're really offering before you give them that price, because maybe you're going through the services, but they're not connecting the services to the value and how it's really going to help them.
Right.
So yeah, ask them, like, how much do you think, I know I just rattled off 12, 14 services.
Yeah.
That are included in our package. I want you to be honest with me. Tell me, what do you think something like this is worth?
Mhm.
And I think getting them to that point, and Whitney can probably vouch for me on this, it's not even so much of me telling them in the conversation. It's like when I send like the form to sign up or the link for them to sign up, then it's always like, the 89 and then the sign up fee for 99 or what have you. That's kind of when I come back and get the rejection, because it's like when you'll say, well, did they sign up? And I'm like, when you'll say, well, hey, they haven't signed up yet, or I'll say they haven't.
So
they
they're
say
not
Friday.
getting the price until then? Oh.
Right. I mean, it's like several people, even though I may bring it up, is necessarily the sign up fee, the $99 and then the 89. Like even some of my family members, I've lowered it if two of them sign up.
I was going to say, have you said, listen, you're my family, or you're this, or you're that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to help you out. I understand there's a sign up fee. It's going to come out of my pocket. Like, honestly, this is a referral based business. So if you can send me X number of referrals, I'll waive that fee for you. Right. Yeah. Or I'll cut that fee in half, and I don't know.
I've done that. It's really just, and I think that's where that third party could come in to help, because sometimes, because even in our real estate business, Vice President, you actually know when people decide, hey, I don't want to work with my family, I'll go and do another realtor. That's kind of where I am now. And, and that's why I was like, Whitney, can I pretty much, necessarily refer these people to you? But then I think as we're talking today, maybe that three-way conversation would be that one to get it over. Right. Then I've even had it where they've done it and signed up and then never paid another fee. And then basically lose contact with them. We've had a couple of people like that. I think
we've all gone through that, and it's really, what are we doing to continue showing them that value too? I think that's one of my biggest faults as an agent, is I'm so focused on right now that I'm not really good at my follow-up sucks. Yep. I've been totally honest. Like, that is the thing that I admire most about Whitney, is because he focuses on what's in front of him as well as who he's already helped, and he's really in it for helping people. Exactly. I kind of help those who come to me and say they need help, and that's the mindset that I have to change, right? So literally looking at Whitney's slide, I screenshotted it because when he said about the slide about customers, right? So when they enroll, like, even if you do it one time for one customer and get them all the way through their process correctly, well, then that's duplication. So when that one customer signs up, if you send them a message like, I'm going to focus all my attention on making sure this one customer, this next customer that signs up, that I do it perfectly, right? Because then you can take everything that you did for that one customer and duplicate it for everybody else. And that's where I mean, I'm just speaking for myself where I get tripped up because I'm like, okay, where's this one at? Okay, what do I need to send them now? How long have they been in it? Instead of just stop, I've made my mistakes, right? I haven't had this perfect process in place, but how can I, make a difference to this one person who really needs help, who's signing up right now, and give them absolutely everything they need. Make sure I'm following up with them, and not leaving it to the company to just send them the reminder text.
Hey, Kendra, I would like to do something real quick.
Sure.
Sean.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Whitney.
So I think, first of all, I think you're too emotionally invested in the result with each person. I think because they're family, you're expecting them to sign up or at least support you in this business, or they even tell you that they're going to sign up and then they go ghost on you. So you have to scale back your emotional dependency on the result and just go through the numbers. So this is what we're talking about: 5 people a day, 5 times a week, 5 question close. So this is family, this is coworkers, this is anybody. We have to talk to everybody. Like Erica Sanford always says, nobody is safe. So if you base your business on your family, you're gonna quit because your friends and family are not gonna make you rich. Okay.
Absolutely.
So let's talk. This is me and you. I'll start it off. Sean Page, thank you for getting on the call. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. You mentioned that you were interested in getting your credit restored. What do you have on your credit that you need to work on?
Right now I have student loans. I have a car repossession, and I really don't even have any credit cards. So that's pretty much what my problem is. So I need to start. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So you have a car repossession. Do you have any collections, medical bills, bankruptcies, anything like that?
Oh yeah, I do have a few medical bills.
Okay. Do you know what your current credit score is?
I think it's about 580.
Okay, the last time you checked?
Last time I checked, about 580, maybe 480. This is always higher normally.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this, Sean. What are your goals for your credit? Why are you looking to get your credit score increased?
I really do want to buy a new car. I want to buy a new car.
And what is your timeline for that? Ideally, when would you like to have that new car?
Probably in the next 3 months.
3 months with a 580 credit score. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we can help you in this capacity. I partner with a company called United Credit Education Services. It's a non-for-profit. And we're going to do a hard pull and dispute every negative item on your credit report immediately. So not one item at a time. We're going to dispute everything all at once. And most of our customers are seeing awesome results within 40 to 90 days with us. Okay. All we ask is that you, while we're working on your credit, you do not apply for anything new. So please wait till I give you the okay to apply for that car. Okay, Sean?
Okay.
So for everything I just mentioned.
How much is it gonna cost me?
Oh, well, how bad do you want that car, Sean?
I want it. I need one. Mine's is about to bail out on me. But Whitney, I've tried Lexington Law before, and they were only $39 a month.
Okay.
And they didn't do nothing for my credit.
Absolutely. So let's think about it, Sean. You went with Lexington Law, which is a different company than what I'm representing, and nothing got done, which is the reason you're talking to me now. So they're in the same industry as us, but they don't represent the same quality of product that we provide to you. Okay. So like I mentioned, we're going to dispute everything up front. They dispute everything one item at a time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to help you get into that 3-month window to be able to purchase that car. So to be able to do that, Sean, it's going to be $188 to get started. So there's a $99 activation fee today and today only. And then it's $89 a month after that. It's a month-to-month program, so we're not going to lock you into any sort of contract or anything like that. and it's going to take about 46 months possibly to get you toward your desired results, but you're definitely going to see improvement within that first 45 to 90 days. I also mentioned to my clients that we have a customer referral program, which is awesome. So you can refer as many people as you want to me. If only 5 sign up, then your services are free. So you won't have to worry about any type of $89 payment or anything like that.
Okay. All right. So if I'm in with Lexington Law now and I had a contract for 24 months, let me wait till I get finished with that contract and then I can go ahead and sign up with you.
So you're willing to pay $39 a month for an additional 24 months to see nothing get done?
Well, you know what, Whitney? Let me get back to you. Can you, I get paid Friday and, you know, maybe I can join on Friday. I'll join on Friday.
Is money the only reason that's stopping you from getting started today?
Not really. It's just that I've been working with the Lexington Law, and it's much cheaper, you know, the $89. But when I look at it, and I'm paying the $39, and I'm locked into a contract for 24 months, or for another 12 months anyway, and you guys are, you know, willing to try to help me get this done by 4 to 6 months, I just don't trust. You know, I'm just not. Just call me back on Friday, Whitney. Can you call me back on Friday, and I'll see if I'm in a position to go ahead and start, because it sounds interesting. It looks like you can do what I need you to do in definitely a short amount of time. Is there anything else that you guys do? Is it just you helping me repair my credit? Is there a way for you to help me save money, you know, to put down as a down payment? Because I was told that I needed to put a down payment to buy this new car.
Well, absolutely. What I just described to you literally is just one of the services that we offer, which is our credit restoration. But we have a budgeting tool that you're going to be able to take advantage of to budget your money properly every month, a debt payoff tool that you'll be able to utilize, especially once you get that car, to get that car paid off as soon as possible. We have savings goals. We have a will and trust. And let me ask you something, Sean. Are you married or do you have any kids? I think you're on mute.
Oh, she dropped.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
I don't see her.
okay. Maybe her internet went up. Hold on. No, she's still there. Sean? It says her mic is on. But anyway, for most people who just kept talking,
Figure out how she got that discount for $39 at Lexington Law, because
yeah, super.
Well, they do when you're about to cancel, they'll reduce it down. And I didn't know they had it
like
24 months.
Yeah, they're like $89 to $129.
I've had clients that are paying $140 per month.
Right.
But with her, I probably would have just had her make some posts for me, and then maybe followed up with her on Friday. But I wasn't at that point. I'm not worried about her anymore. I'm about to see if her mom or her daddy or her uncle's going to sign up, because all she keeps talking about is Lexington Law.
Well, I would have asked her what made you decide to go with, because it sounds like a prestige, you know, a prestige in it. You know, oh, I'm with Lexington Law. So I would ask her, what made you decide to go to Lexington Law?
Mm-hmm.
And then let her tell you. But when she asked about the car, I would have asked, she wants it 3 to 6 months, you know, within
3 months.
3 months. I would have said, are you purchasing or leasing? Whatever she said, I would have said, great, because I have a tool that's going to help you pay that off. And so everything she says, you're going to say, I'm going to throw this additional complimentary tool in with your credit restoration. That's how I kind of do it, to get the value while we're talking, without saying, and we give you this and we give you this. I give you identity theft. Oh, I already got identity theft. So then they are trying to take away from the value of it. Well, can I get it cheaper since I already paid? So I asked those questions. You know, do you have identity theft protection? As we go through this program, we're going to also give you up to $1 million of insurance on your identity, because your credit will be. So I'm gonna throw that in as well. I'm gonna throw this
throwing
in.
problems. They're throwing problems at you, and you're throwing solutions by using the services as the solutions.
Right. So when you said, yeah, because you just straight went to the credit restoration. And that's why I asked, okay, so do you have the down payment? So you want this car in 3 months. Okay. Did they tell you that you may have to put some money down?
Mm-hmm.
Because that opens up a whole lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The savings goal. And if I already know she has the money. See, when they tell you it's about the money, it's not never about the money, because it was really about the prestige of her being with Lexington Law.
And getting nothing done.
And getting nothing done. And I always ask them, well, how's that working for you? How do you know what the responses are? Do they notify you with that? And then I do like when you say everything. And I always say, so that conversation would have went very similar to yours. I would have said, hey, okay, you want to be in that car in the next, anything else would you like to do in the next 12 months? Well, what kind of car are you looking for? Because I have some vendors in your area that I can maybe refer to you. If I want a Mustang. Okay, guess who my next 5 calls are going to be? To some Ford car dealers that I might potentially have a client that's looking for a Mustang in her area.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
So is she on? Because I'm a ask.
No.
If she gets back on, I'm gonna ask her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, everything, because they know when you say everything will be disputed at one time. That is great, because with Lexington Law, they know that they're not disputing everything. So we get everything disputed all at one time. And we usually see great results within 30 to 45 days, depending on how stubborn the debts are, determines how long you have to stay in the program.
Right.
But there's no contract. You can start or stop the service when you get your desired score. I leave desired score there and your desired financial situation there, because I want to open the door for them to be in this program longer than that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But so all of your last 7 client customers, you need to call them back and say, hey, I lost my note or whatever. What specifically were you trying to accomplish by getting your scores improved? If it's a house, guess who okay, so paint me a picture of where do you want to specifically live? Because I work with some amazing realtors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because we don't get into work. So now you're talking about work. Most mortgage companies are going to ask for 2 years. How did you get through the COVID? What price point are you looking for? Oh, I'm looking in the suburbs of wherever, and I want to, try to get a house for. Some of them don't even know that. And then you ask them, well, are you working with a mortgage company? Guess what my next 5 calls are going to be?
Yeah, I love that. Mm-hmm. So when you're approaching the mortgage company, you're saying, hey, I got a client that's interested in buying a home in your area. Then what?
Hey, Whitney. Hey, Whitney, I see you work in the Kansas City area. Are you familiar with what subdivision do you live in? Just whatever.
Just say Parkville.
Parkview. See, this is part of my 10X, which really works, and people should just stick on this. Parkview area. Hey, hey, Whitney, I know you're busy, but listen, I work with people that are in a credit restoration program, and usually within 90 days, they are trying to buy a house. Mm-hmm. That's going to pique their interest right there. Mm-hmm. So, I'm looking for referrals, but her name is Sean Page. I just want to ask you a few questions because I have a ton of these kind of clients and coming out of our system, usually within a 90-day turnaround. And I want to work with somebody that is going to handle my clients with kid gloves. That's going to do a really good job. And then they'll be like, sure, yeah, they want to spend about $350 on the house. Their score right now is about, you can make it whatever it is, get them on the rental program, and then they get them in 90 days. Do you know how much more business of referrals you'll get? But because then you're the expert, you're interviewing them. Because I can go to the mortgage person next door. And that's how you approach realtors. Hey, I just enrolled, 7 people in my local area, and I'm looking for a good realtor to refer these people to. I know the market is crazy right now, so I need somebody that's full-time. Guess what full-time means? They're making some money. Can you handle, is 350 too low of a number for you to work with? They're going to be like, no. I'm not going to say 50,000. I'll be like, no, I don't work with. But if you say, I'm not sure how that area works, but she's looking between 300,000 and 500,000. Is that too low for you?
This area, I would say 250 to 350. Yep, that's pretty.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I would ask them, is that, because some realtors don't take, less. But if they say yes, and you will hear their voice peak up. Yeah. Then you say, well, listen, we have a referral portal. I'll send you her name and number through there. And by the way, what are you doing with your people that have less than perfect credit? And then you just go right into the script. So because you guys are awesome with sales, you need to be using those. Even if they don't go to them, that's still a lead.
Yeah, that's something
that's a convert. And you're adding value to them first. Do you know how much $300,000 house? That's a $9,000 commission.
Okay. Well, that's all I got. Thank you for that. I'm about to add this now.
All right, I gotta get out of here. So
okay, I do too.
Yep.
And
Whitney, if you want to still talk, I got like a few minutes, but if not, I love this. I am glad. I wish there were more people on the call, but the people that was supposed to hear it was here.
Yeah, this was great.
Yes. So we can do something like this, Tamara, and just make phone calls. I mean, I did a follow-up. The girl didn't call me back. She said, but that happens. That happens to me too.
Yeah, whenever y'all do that, let me know. I would like to listen in too.
Sure. I'm thinking about just doing it in Facebook if you're not available. And I mean, there's been times when I just sat on the Zoom and made my calls, or I'll record like an hour or 45 minutes of me making calls.
Yeah.
And I posted it. I think I did that. Yeah, you can look at some of my posts. I can even do it that way. So you can hear that way that you can hear both people